Let's get right into it. Number 1. Instinctual intelligence. When you hear the term instinct, you probably think of wild animals, right? Like how a bird knows exactly when to migrate or how a baby instinctively cries for food. But what about humans? Don't worry, we've got some of that too. Instinctual intelligence is basically your body's natural responses to immediate threats or needs. It's the kind of intelligence that kicks in before your brain even has time to panic. Think about it. If you're walking down the street and suddenly feel something weird under your foot, you don't stop to think, what is this strange sensation? Your brain immediately sends a signal to your leg to hop away, usually before you've even realized there's something dangerous there. This intelligence doesn't involve complex thinking. It's more about survival and maintaining balance in life. So, when you swat that fly without even thinking or dodge that flying object, you're tapping into your instinctual intelligence. It's not pretty or elegant, but it's fast and effective. We don't rely on this intelligence for things like, what's for dinner? Or, what should I wear today? But for survival, it's the MVP. The trick is knowing when it's time to rely on instinct and when you should probably stop and think it through. For instance, trusting your gut to make a life or death decision is one thing, but choosing your next vacation spot based solely on a gut feeling? Not so much. So, instinctual intelligence keeps us alive and functioning, but the real challenge is learning when to trust it and when to let your brain take over instead. Number 2. Practical intelligence. Practical intelligence is like the GPS of life. It helps you get through the day without driving into a metaphorical ditch. We all know that one person who seems to have a knack for solving real-world problems without breaking a sweat. You know, the one who can assemble an IKEA bookshelf blindfolded and who knows exactly how to fix a leaky faucet. That's practical intelligence in action. It's not about memorizing facts or crunching numbers, it's about knowing what works in everyday situations and being able to apply it. Imagine this. You're hosting a dinner party, and the guests are getting hangry. You've got a kitchen full of ingredients, but no recipe. The solution? Practical intelligence. You figure out how to whip up a dish that will satisfy everyone's cravings, using what's available. It's not a fancy scientific formula, just pure, street-smart problem-solving. Practical intelligence doesn't always come from a textbook. It's the stuff that helps you navigate life's little curveballs, like knowing how to handle a difficult coworker or realizing that the easiest way to get a stain out of a shirt is just to rub some soap on it. No need for a laundry. It's learned through experience, trial, error, and, yes, sometimes getting a little dirty in the process. Ultimately, practical intelligence is what makes life run smoothly. Without it, we'd probably still be trying to figure out how to turn on a coffee maker. It's all about getting things done in the most effective way possible. Number 3. Social intelligence. Now, let's talk about social intelligence, the ability to navigate and thrive in social situations. Ever notice how some people seem to know exactly what to say at the right time? They read the room like it's a well-worn book. That's social intelligence in full effect. It's about understanding other people's emotions, thoughts, and behaviors, and using that knowledge to make connections, communicate effectively, and, let's face it, avoid awkward silences. Social intelligence is why you can have a heart-to-heart conversation with your best friend for hours or charm the socks off a room full of strangers at a party. It's all about empathy, reading body language, and making people feel understood. It's not just about knowing how to talk, but knowing when to talk and when to listen. It's like being a conversational ninja, graceful, precise, and never out of place. Think of it this way. You're at a family dinner, and your uncle starts rambling about something totally off topic. Instead of just zoning out or trying to avoid eye contact, you tap into your social intelligence. You pick up on his frustration with something in his life and steer the conversation in a direction where he feels heard, without it being awkward. Boom. Social intelligence at work. But this intelligence isn't just useful for social gatherings, it's crucial for professional success, building relationships, and fostering collaboration. When you know how to get along with people, whether they're your friends, coworkers, or a cashier at the grocery store, life just becomes smoother. Number 4. Emotional intelligence. EQ. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is all about understanding and managing your emotions and the emotions of others. It's the key to not flying off the handle during stressful moments, or knowing how to comfort someone when they're upset. In fact, EQ is probably more important than IQ when it comes to life satisfaction and career success. You might have the sharpest mind in the room, but if you can't control your temper or relate to other people's feelings, you're going to have a tough time getting ahead. Ever notice how some people just seem to get you? They can tell when you're having a bad day, even if you haven't said a word. That's EQ in action. It allows you to tune into your own emotions and process them in a healthy way. So, when something goes wrong, instead of flipping out, you can calmly assess the situation, figure out a solution, and move on without turning it into a full-blown meltdown. But it's not just about you. EQ also involves understanding how others feel. If a friend is upset, EQ helps you know when to give them space and when to offer a shoulder to lean on. At work, it helps you read the room during a meeting, knowing when to speak up and when to stay silent. In relationships, it's the foundation of empathy, making sure you can connect with your partner and handle conflicts constructively. Bottom line, emotional intelligence isn't about being soft, it's about being strong in your ability to understand and manage feelings, both yours and others. And if you don't have EQ yet, no worries, you can develop it, just like any other skill. So, next time you feel an emotional outburst coming on, take a breath and ask yourself, what's the smarter, more emotionally intelligent response here? Spoiler alert, it's usually not screaming. Number 5. Linguistic Intelligence. Linguistic intelligence is the talent for language. It's the ability to use words well, whether in speaking, writing, or both. Some people have a way with words that can make even the most mundane topics sound like the most fascinating thing on earth. Think about your favorite author or motivational speaker. Their ability to craft sentences, choose the right words, and express complex ideas in simple terms? That's linguistic intelligence at work. Linguistic intelligence is what helps you persuade, inform, and entertain through language. It's the reason some people can get up in front of a crowd and deliver a speech that leaves everyone hanging on every word, while others struggle just to write a decent email. It's not just about vocabulary, though it certainly helps. It's about how you connect ideas, tell stories, and play with language to make your point. You might already be using linguistic intelligence in your everyday life. Whether you're cracking a joke that has everyone laughing, or writing a text that makes a serious point in a way that feels natural, linguistic intelligence helps you express yourself more clearly and persuasively, making your ideas resonate with others. But here's the catch. It's not just about having a wide vocabulary or knowing how to construct a perfect sentence. It's also about understanding your audience. You wouldn't use the same tone or vocabulary to talk to your grandma as you would with your friends, right? Linguistic intelligence is knowing how to adapt your communication to the context and the people involved. So next time you're preparing to give a speech, write an email, or even just tell a story, tap into your linguistic intelligence and remember, it's not just what you say, it's how you say it. Number 6. Logical mathematical intelligence. Ever met someone who could solve complex equations without breaking a sweat or predict the outcome of a situation based on pure logic? That's logical mathematical intelligence. The ability to think analytically, solve problems, and grasp abstract concepts. This type of intelligence is often associated with scientists, mathematicians, and engineers. But don't be fooled, everyone has it in some form, even if it's not always in numbers. Logical mathematical intelligence involves the ability to see patterns, make connections, and apply logical reasoning to solve problems. It's not just about crunching numbers, though that's a big part of it. It's about being able to break down complex issues into manageable chunks and find solutions that others might miss. Whether you're playing chess, debugging a computer program, or figuring out the fastest route to your destination, you're using this kind of intelligence. It's often said that the best way to develop logical mathematical intelligence is through practice. The more you engage in activities that require you to think critically and solve problems like puzzles, strategy games, or even planning your day, the sharper your logical skills become. But here's the cool part. Logical mathematical intelligence doesn't just apply to numbers and formulas. It's also about how you approach decisions in life. Do you look at situations systematically? Can you assess potential outcomes and make decisions based on evidence and reasoning? That's logical intelligence at work in your day-to-day life. So, next time you face a tricky problem, whether it's at work, school, or just figuring out what to have for lunch, remember, you've got the tools for logical thinking. It's all about breaking things down and approaching the issue with a clear, rational mindset. Number 7. Creative intelligence. Creative intelligence is what sparks innovation, gives birth to new ideas, and lets you see the world through a different lens. It's the part of your brain that gives you the aha moments when you're least expecting them. You know that feeling when you suddenly think of a solution to a problem that you've been pondering for hours? That's creative intelligence, flexing its muscles. This type of intelligence isn't just about artistic talent, although that's certainly a part of it. It's about the ability to think outside the box, make unique connections, and look at things from multiple perspectives. It's how inventors create groundbreaking technology, artists produce mind-blowing pieces of work, and entrepreneurs come up with game-changing business ideas. But it's not always about grand inventions. Creative intelligence is also about solving everyday problems in a new way, like figuring out how to organize your workspace or thinking up a fun way to entertain your friends. You don't have to be a painter or a musician to tap into creative intelligence. It's all about your ability to approach challenges with an open mind and come up with solutions that no one else has thought of. Sometimes, it's about combining seemingly unrelated ideas to create something completely new. Ever heard the phrase, "Necessity is the mother of invention"? That's creativity in action. Creative intelligence thrives on freedom, playfulness, and exploration. So next time you're stuck, step away from the problem and give yourself the freedom to think in unconventional ways. Number 8. Philosophical Existential Intelligence. Philosophical or existential intelligence is all about asking the big questions. It's the part of you that wonders about the meaning of life, the nature of reality, or why we're here in the first place. It's a deep, reflective intelligence that goes beyond what we can see or touch, reaching into the abstract and sometimes the mystical. Philosophical intelligence isn't about having all the answers. If anything, it's about realizing that there might not be any final answers. It's about the ability to contemplate and critically examine existence, morality, knowledge, and the universe. People with strong existential intelligence are often the ones who question social norms, challenge conventional wisdom, and wonder about the purpose of life. They're the deep thinkers who might get lost in thought about why the universe exists or how we define good and evil. But you don't have to be a philosopher or a spiritual guru to have this kind of intelligence. It's the kind of intelligence that's built into your nature when you ask yourself, why are we here? Or, what is the purpose of love? If you've ever found yourself contemplating the big picture of existence, then you're tapping into your philosophical intelligence. This intelligence is deeply tied to personal growth. It challenges you to think beyond the surface level and question the norms. It's often seen in writers, theorists, and anyone who enjoys exploring the mysteries of life. So, if you've ever found yourself lost in a moment of existential reflection, don't worry, you're not alone. And you're probably exercising a very important kind of intelligence. Number 9. Metacognitive Intelligence. Metacognitive intelligence is like the ultimate cheat code for the brain. It's your ability to think about your own thinking. It's the intelligence that lets you evaluate your thought processes, figure out where you went wrong, and adjust your approach accordingly. It's a higher-level cognitive function that allows you to be aware of how you learn, think, and solve problems, and to use that awareness to make your thinking even more effective. Imagine you're trying to solve a complex problem. Metacognitive intelligence lets you step back and assess the strategies you're using. Are they working? Are you stuck in a loop? What other approaches can you try? It's like being your own brain coach, constantly analyzing how well you're thinking and adjusting accordingly. The more metacognitive intelligence you develop, the more efficient and effective your problem-solving becomes. Metacognitive intelligence doesn't just help with solving problems, also helps with learning. Ever realize that sometimes you can understand a topic better simply by explaining it to someone else? That's metacognition at work. It's the skill that helps you monitor your understanding and refine your approach to learning. If you're a person who's always looking for ways to improve your thinking and decision-making, then you're already engaging your metacognitive intelligence. It's one of the most powerful tools for personal development because it turns you into a proactive thinker who's always striving for mental growth. Number 10. Genius Visionary Intelligence. And finally, we come to what most people think of when they imagine intelligence at its peak: genius or visionary intelligence. This is the kind of intelligence that pushes the boundaries of human capability. It's the spark behind great inventions, radical ideas, and revolutionary movements. Think of the visionaries like Steve Jobs, Nikola Tesla, or even Leonardo da Vinci, people who didn't just think outside the box. They completely reinvented the box. Genius intelligence isn't just about being book smart or calculating numbers in your head. It's about having the ability to see things in ways that others can't even begin to imagine. It's the ability to come up with ideas that seem so far ahead of their time that they might sound completely absurd until they become reality. But here's the kicker. Genius isn't just about being naturally gifted. It's also about persistence, passion, and the willingness to challenge the status quo. Visionary intelligence often requires a willingness to fail, learn from those failures, and keep going. It's about a vision so big that it makes the average person feel dizzy just thinking about it. Now, don't panic. Just because you're not inventing the next iPhone doesn't mean you're not tapping into your own genius. Genius is often about seeing the world from a different perspective, connecting ideas that seem unrelated, and being willing to take risks. Whether you're launching a creative project, solving a unique problem, or dreaming up your next big idea, you're using visionary intelligence. And who knows? Maybe your crazy idea will be the next big thing. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.